After about 4 hours sleep, we were up and ready for the off. Half an hour behind time, we were escorted through Germany towards Poland. As we approached the border, we saw the tailback of hundreds of lorries waiting to cross the frontier, and momentarily our hearts sank as we saw the queue. We need not have worried though, as we were escorted past the queue right up to the border post. Our convoy certainly caused some interest, and in speaking to one of the lorry drivers, we learned that he had been waiting for 4 days to cross into Poland. Fortunately, our wait was a bit shorter, 20 minutes and we're through. Gary Neeson has in the meantime become a millionaire as he has changed some money into Polish zlotys. After filling the vehicles and jerry cans with fuel, we continued our journey, driving through Poland. We were given a Polish police escort and noticed that they have a different way of escorting a convoy to us. The roads are marked out with a white line down the centre, and then there is a white line about 4 feet from the edge on either side. It appears that when a convoy under police escort is moving, everything else on the road in both directions has to move over and either stop or slow down. We felt this was a bit unnecessary, but can't really do anything about it except follow the leader. Immediately upon entering Poland, we knew we were leaving the West. We were surprised to see that peasants still worked in the fields and horses outnumbered tractors, but we got the feeling that they are making great progress. Our convoy certainly caused interest as we passed through small towns and villages on our way to Warsaw, but the natives appeared to be friendly. After another fuel stop just outside Warsaw, we braved the city traffic. After 1 or 2 slightly hair-raising moments, the Polish escort signalled us to use our blue lights, and negotiating the traffic became safer for everyone concerned. From then on, we used blue lights throughout our journey, which seemed to be the norm for convoys in the countries we passed through. Our journey continued across Poland through wet and windy weather, and we arrived at the Polish-Belarus border at 9:30 p.m. Some of the border guards were practicing their stern looks, but we could tell they were interested in the vehicles. A few Hertfordshire Constabulary badges and 1 or 2 Operation Spider pens helped melt the ice, and after what seemed utterly pointless exercises, which involved small pieces of paper and rubber stamps, we were crossing the border to be met by our Russian hosts. The border itself was like something from a James Bond film, a bridge over a deep gorge with mist swirling and border guards carrying machine guns, and fences with barbed wire on all sides. We decided that it might not be too prudent to film this area, as we were still a little unsure of what we would be allowed to record. We were swiftly escorted to our hotel, reputed to be the best in Brest. Suffice it to say that if this was the best, we didn't want to think what the others were like. It has to be said that Russian hotels are not among the best in the world. However, Hotel Friendship, for that was its name, did have beds. Once again, though, we only had 4 hours to get acquainted with them before continuing our journey. Our vehicles had been locked in a pound which had guard dogs running loose, and after a breakfast of biscuits and water from our own supplies, we headed off through the mist into Belarus. At one of the stops deep in the countryside, Chrisley and Dave Chalkley wanted to drive up the road and get some shots of the convoy driving past. The escort had to be persuaded that this is okay, and we realised later that they were concerned that they did not fall into the hands of the mafia. While they were setting up the camera, they were approached by a peasant who seemed to appear out of nowhere. He waved a 200 ruble note about and pointed to the frontiera and eventually wrote something in Russian on a piece of paper. This was later translated, and it appeared that the peasant wanted us to send him a vehicle like ours when we got back home and had given us his address.